That's what life after trauma is really about. Choosing what channel, what frequency, what radar you want to tap into, because you're no longer allowing yourself to be hindered. We are on day 2 of life after trauma, and I'm already slaying dragons. It's pretty early. It's maybe like 10:30 in the morning, and I already have this overwhelming feeling of, you don't need to make your cup of tea. You're fine. You don't need no tea today. It's hot outside. Tea is what I want, okay? You don't need to do this video series. Who's going to listen to this? Who actually needs this from you? When you start getting thoughts like that, when you start to come up against the spirit of doubt, that is when you are being tested. Your commitment is being tested. Whether or not you're ready to stand in what it is that you want is being tested. And what do you do when you get to a space, when you get to a place, when you get to a person that's trying to stop you from what it is that you're interested in accomplishing? What do? For me, I chose to push forward, jump over the hurdle. It's very important that as we move on through our life, especially people that dealt with complex stress disorder, right? And I have a post about that somewhere. You have to be willing to always challenge the thought that challenges what it is that you want to do, that makes you happy. Me sharing for 10 minutes a day makes me happy. It makes me happy. Not only does it make me happy, it keeps me accountable for what it is that I'm doing for myself. Because it's so easy for me to get into this space and say, I'm not doing enough. I haven't accomplished anything. I've just been sitting around. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. This right here, this series is literally all about me keeping track of how it is that I am evolving. It's necessary. I need the visual memoir. I need this for me. And if it's helpful to other people, that's amazing. But for me, I need it, right? So already today, I've had to overcome the spirit of doubt. Sometimes it's other people around you telling you that you don't need to do this thing, that this thing doesn't matter, or that that's not a good idea. Sometimes it's just you. And as a person who has already literally removed every single person out of my life that would ever tell me that the things that I want to do, that the ways that I want to show up and be creative and share with this world doesn't matter, because I've already removed all of those people, the only person standing in my way of doing exactly what it is that I want to do is, you guessed it, me. Me. So when those thoughts come up, because we play programs from our subconscious mind of old programs, old habits, we play those programs in our subconscious mind. When those thoughts pop up, you have to dispel them. You have to say, no, excuse me, slide over. Actually, I'm making 2 cups of tea today. Since you was pressed about 1, I'm making 2. I might record 2 videos today. Since we were saying that 1 wasn't enough, that 1 wasn't going to do anything, I might do 2 today. Maybe that'll do something, right? What I realize is we are living on multiple timelines all of the time. And this is something that I've been studying as of lately. The unlimited timelines. The birds agree. The unlimited timelines. This is something that I've listened to Bashar speak about. At any given second in your life, you are living on a different timeline. So the moment when you were thinking that that's not something that you should do, that's a timeline. The moment you were thinking, oh, I don't have what I need, that's a timeline of lack. The moment you were thinking, oh, this really excites me, that's a timeline. Every single thing is a timeline. And as we shift through our timelines, we can consciously shift the channels. A timeline is just a channel, it's just a frequency. You can constantly shift through the channels, shift through the frequencies, just like you would on a TV. Keep clicking. Oop, that's not what I want to tune into. That's not what I want to tune into. That's what life after trauma is really about. Choosing what channel, what frequency, what radar you want to tap into. Because you're no longer allowing yourself to be hindered. And if you are not in a space in your life yet, if you're not in a space in your mind yet where you have the strength to actually choose the timelines yourself, and you need someone to help you, get that help. Have that talk. It is literally the reason why I offer spiritual therapy. Because your spirit is asking to move, to grow, to expand. And sometimes, because of the trauma that you have endured, your physical body is unable to actually do what it is that your spirit wants you to do. And to be honest, that's okay. Because you can actually work with that. You can actually shift through that channel, through that frequency, through that energy. You can make those shifts. You are not bound to those thoughts. You are not bound to that way of being. Sometimes we just need a little push. Sometimes we just need a little help. Sometimes we need to figure out better ways to make ourselves accountable, to hold ourselves accountable for our actions, to be more disciplined, especially if that's not something that we learned to do growing up, especially if that's something that has been forbidden, prohibited. If you aren't allowed to do certain things growing up, you've grown this habit of suppressing the way that you wish to show up. And you no longer have to suppress. I don't have to suppress. That is why I'm here. That is why I'm showing up. We don't have to suppress ourselves. I wrote something yesterday, and I talked about trust and faith. They're one and the same to me. Having faith and having trust is one and the same to me. Having faith in the unknown and having trust in the divine plan is one and the same. And my faith was really restored the other day. My trust in the fact that I don't need to know every single thing that's going on, but that it's all happening for my highest good, was restored. And it's an amazing feeling. Of course, I wrote something. And ultimately, trust is something that you need. Faith is something that you need to move forward. To move forward. If you know that it's going to be okay, but you just need a little bit of help getting to that next step, that's perfectly fine. Even if you don't know that it's going to be okay, but you have faith that everything is going to work out, that's enough. Now, add the action to that, your action. Sometimes you need to make a move. Sometimes you need to be still. Sometimes you need to tap somebody in and ask for help. But you have to trust in yourself and trust in your own intuition to know what it is that needs to be done next. Let me share this with you all. Faith has arrived. A familiar energy came to visit me last night. She crept up through the soles of my feet, tickled the inner and outer parts of my calves and thighs, caressed my root chakra, flowed up my spine and around my torso, kissing my heart, and filling me up until she burst through my crown. Faith is here, an energy that I've struggled to embody for years, here to replace the heaviness of worry and doubt, fear, lack, force, and control. Faith has come through to save my life yet again. Surrendering to faith has not been easy after dealing with the abundance of trauma, lies, mistreatment, and missed opportunities. But for some reason, I feel safe in his arms. Genderless indeed, faith is both loving and nurturing, while simultaneously strong and powerful enough to keep me moving forward. I'm unsure of where I'm headed, but I finally trust faith to take over my body and guide my steps, walking with me like a parent taking their child to their first day of school. I have no idea what's ahead, but I trust it'll be cool. I'm not passive with faith, for they simply accompany me on this journey. It is still up to me to take each step every day and choose to invite them along. That's all I wanted to share today. I hope that you follow your highest timeline, your highest joy. I hope that you allow yourself to do something today that you wish you would have done yesterday, that you've been wanting to do. I hope that you allow yourself to implement the things that you love in your life and to continue to strive for the best version of you. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.